Tuesday, compliments of the season, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be talking about 10 vital lessons that I learned in 2021. Can you believe that 2021 is over? And when did we say Happy New Year? In 2021. Now we're saying goodbye to 2021 and we'll be welcoming 2022. I pray that 2022 will be the best year yet for all of us. Anyways, let's dive right into the 10 vital lessons that I learned navigating 2021. The first lesson I learned in 2021 is that every day is a gift. Every single day that you have the opportunity to see the new dawn of the day, you have the opportunity to harness your potentials, you have the opportunity to work on all those things you've not worked on. So maybe for some reason you failed in something yesterday. It doesn't mean that you can't try it again today, because the new day is a gift and it's filled with endless possibilities. It's filled, it's just filled with amazing things, because when you look at it, you have a new day, a clean slate, an opportunity to rewrite your story, an opportunity to correct your mistakes, an opportunity to take yourself further. So one of the greatest lessons that I learned in 2021 is that every day is an opportunity to rewrite my story, to tell my story differently, and to do things different. I learned in 2021 that take every day as a gift and you will be able to harness all the potentials that are in that day. Now, let's go to the next lesson that I learned in 2021. Believe in yourself and show up for yourself. Now, in 2020, I had a lot of setback at work. I had a lot of no's being said to me. In 2020 was really not a great year for me. 2021 was really the year that I needed 2021. I had some setback in my career. At a point I was contemplating quitting my job, but of course I didn't quit because I didn't have any other alternative. Now, while I was thinking of quitting my job, I thought of, okay, so why don't you get another job? So I started applying at other organizations. Guess what? I got no every single time. I can't tell you the number of no's that I got in 2020. And I also understand that the economic climate in 2020 was not so friendly, because the world at large was battling with COVID-19. Yes, so it wasn't really like it was a very convenient era for organizations, but at least some people were getting jobs around that time. Of course, I didn't, and it kind of puts a dent on my confidence. So in 2021, I did things differently. I did not look at the fact that I did not get those things I needed in 2020. In 2021, I didn't look at all those things. I just told myself that since every day is filled with a new opportunity, I am a new person every day. So in 2021, I really put myself out there. I believed in myself. I knew that know that where I am today, I didn't just get there by getting there. I worked hard to motivate myself, so to speak. So in other words, believing in myself that, okay, I've done this thing in the past. Even though in 2020 there were a lot of no's, and there were some of those things that I've done in the past that I didn't really do well in 2020. I'm like, see, I've done this thing before, and even if I've not done this thing before, I can still do it again. So I actually just had that confidence that, okay, you know what, try and error, let me even try to see if I can actually get this thing done. And I did it, and I got some of them done. I was successful at some of them, and at some of them I actually failed. And I added that to the list of experiences that I have. So this is like a failure point, and this is a lesson point for you, even though you failed at this. So it didn't really stop me from going for what I believe, what I believe that I could achieve. So yes, 2020 was that year that I really believed in myself, and I put myself out there a lot, in places and in times where I would have said, let me not bother. How are they going to receive me? How are they going to perceive me? I put myself out there in people's faces in 2021. I really went all out for myself, and that was because I believed in myself. And when I was showing up at interviews, at maybe conversations with friends and people, when I was showing up, I did not show up short. Like, in my full confidence regalia, I was there. And that gave me that confidence that, hey, you can do this. So yes, believe in yourself. and show up for yourself. There are days where you don't even have the strength, you're tired, you just don't understand what's going on and why things are going badly, and you think that on a repeat everything is just not working. Please don't even let that get to you. Try as much as possible to show up for yourself in the best form, because nobody else will do it for you. When opportunities that involves you or that you can benefit from come up, they will definitely call your name. But when it comes to doing the actual job, when it comes to showing up for yourself, when it comes to selling yourself, you need to do that. People won't do that for you. And a lot of the times, referrals that you get, you just don't get them because you were referred by so person. You still get to prove yourself, and that part is very, very important. So it's important, to believe in yourself and show up for yourself. So that really worked for me in 2021, and that's a great lesson for me in 2021. Then we'll go to the next lesson. Come right along. Okay, so the third lesson is blow your own trumpet, like banana, 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 banana. So this lesson is very, very vital, because I used to be that person who thinks that, don't worry, everything you're doing, they are saying it, especially in the workplace. I said, don't worry, Shebi, you are submitting your reports now. Shebi, you are doing your job now. Shebi, you are doing everything. You're doing things. But I've noticed, like in 2021, I learned that, see, sometimes you can be doing the most at work, and your supervisor or the person that is supposed to, your supervisor is saying that, you are doing it. It doesn't end with that person. There are other people who are decision makers in that organization. So yes, you may be reporting and doing everything right, and your boss can see that, yes, this person is performing, she's doing everything she's supposed to be doing. But the decision makers too need to know that you are getting your job done, because your boss may leave the organization today or tomorrow. And sometimes when decisions need to be made about you, your boss may not necessarily be present. So when you have the opportunity to sit in a room with decision makers, you need to blow your own trumpet. Even if there is no opportunity for you to, try as much as possible. If you're going to be, if you are going to be granted an audience, try as much as possible to refer them to a project or something that you worked on, that you have done. If they don't know anything about it, fill them in on the details. Explain to them, because this is too important. Blow your own trumpet, so that, when they are making decisions, they're like, oh, so yeah, I've heard of this name. I've heard of this name. And it also even helps your boss when maybe it's time for promotion, and then your boss is trying to put you up for a promotion, to say that, this person requires or needs promotion. Some people will say, who is that person? And they are supposed to be decision makers, because they are not involved in the everyday mundane activities that you do at your job. So you need to find a way to put yourself in their face, to let them know that, see, I'm the one doing this thing. Let it be known. Don't be ashamed. Don't be timid about it. Don't be modest. When you've done something, let it be known that, oh yes, I have done this. I have achieved this. It's very vital, because this really helped me in 2021. Take that opportunity. Blow your own trumpet, especially at work, and with the use of social media. Everybody comes out there to showcase their talents. Nobody is hiding behind the curtains or anything anymore. Everybody's coming out to say, I can sing, I'm a skit maker, I'm a creator, I'm a content creator, I'm a digital marketer. People who are successful in your industry. Let's take the entertainment industry or social media, for instance. At least we all have an idea of what social media is and how people grow in the social media space. It's because they put themselves out there. It's because they have blown their own trumpet. So stop sulking and hiding and thinking that, oh, no. If you really desire to be noticed, if you really desire to be successful, if you really desire to grow in whatever area of your career, it could be that you are even an entrepreneur. Put your business out there. That's why there is advertising. What does advertising mean? It means shout about it, scream, put it in everybody's face. Blowing your own trumpet is like doing an advertisement of yourself, putting yourself out there, letting people see you that, okay, yes, I have this potential, I have this talent, and I'm using this particular talent to do these things, and these are things I've achieved with it. I cannot overflog this. blow your own trumpet, because even if you have cheerleaders all around, believe me, the best cheerleader you're still going to get will be you. Because if you're not cheerleading yourself, who will you be cheerleading? So it is too important for you not to just blow your trumpet. At work, in family, anywhere. Please don't mistake this for pride, but please and please and please, when you've done something right, when you're doing something, you want to improve on whatever, put yourself out there. Put yourself out there, blow your own trumpet, let people know what you're capable of. Don't be modest about it. Don't be modest about it. Modesty does not cut it anymore. Thank you. So let's move to the number 4 lesson I learned in 2021. The number 4th lesson is for you to try new things, make mistakes, and fail forward. Now, I'm going to take you back to 2020. I'm going to tell you a story about myself in 2020. So in 2020, I was working with an amazing woman, but the role was not a fit for me, right? And then she called me to say, oh, you know what, let's just get you to another unit or department. I had to get somebody else because she's a pretty busy person and she needed somebody who, was well-centered to work with her at that point in time. And that person wasn't me. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But at the end of the day, I ended up floating in the organization. In case you don't know what floating means, you are still a member or a staff of that organization, but you don't have defined responsibilities or defined roles. So I was floating in this organization, and believe me, it was one of the most trying times of my entire life, especially in my career, because at that point I didn't know whether they were going to sack me, whether I was going to sack myself. I didn't just know what I was doing at that point. So I, became very idle. I would go to work, just sit at a desk doing nothing. In fact, I didn't even have a computer allocated to me at this point. I was resuming at, oh my God. So it was a trying time for me, and later in February, late February, I think the second to the last day of February, maybe 26 or 27 or 26, I got a new role, and it was an amazing journey from there on. I got a new role to an amazing team, and believe me, that team is a good fit for me. Let me tell you that now. But right there and then, something had happened. There has been a shift in my mentality. I was a bit depressed around that time because I didn't know how I could be so dispensable. And the truth of the matter is, nobody is indispensable. But I was just like, I can be discarded just like that. Is that all I'm worth? And then I began to question my own self-worth. And I think I began to question my own self-worth, and it's kind of just put a dent on my person. I wasn't the full, vibrant, lively person that I am. I was just, going through the motions of life. I wasn't actually really living life. I was just dressing up, getting to work, doing the job. I wasn't socializing with friends. I wasn't interested in anything, basically. So around that time, I came about a blog, and I read the blog, and it was about getting your head out of the clouds. I loved the blog, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should do this. At least let me give birth to something new in my own life. Let me be in control of my life, because now, if this organization decides to take away this job from me, what do I have? Who am I without this job at this point? I began to ask myself very important questions, and that was how I started my own blog, thenigergirl.com. I'm going to list the link in the description box so that you can check the website out. It didn't really take me long to learn about, because I'd never blogged before. I'd never done anything like that. I didn't even have any idea what it was. So I started learning how to blog, started learning, the optics around it. So what do you need to do to blog? What are those things you need to have? I started learning basically. I wasn't really sleeping well. So there was that time I began to question myself and ask myself, is this where I'm supposed to be at this time of the, in my life? So I started the Niger Girl blog. And that was not the only thing that I started. I started a podcast as well. I called the podcast Unscripted. At a point, I started the podcast, and for some reason, I just couldn't continue. Maybe I ran out of topics to talk about, or maybe because I wasn't getting enough traffic on it, I just left it. So for some reason, I just did not, follow up through on the podcast. So here is what I'm saying. You need to try new things, because I found that I get really, really excited about life when I'm trying new things. And learning is a continuous exercise. You have to exercise your brain. You have to learn new things. Of course, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail at some things, but it's better for you to fail forward. Having a YouTube channel was one of my New Year resolutions for 2021. And believe me, I didn't start thinking about it until maybe December this month. Even though I had gotten a ring light, a microphone, basically the gadgets I need, like the basic gadgets I would need to start. Here in 2021, I didn't even think about the YouTube channel because I was so busy with other things. And I just remembered that, wait, in December, I just started doing an accounting of all the things I was supposed to have achieved. And I'm like, wait, YouTube channel is there. What's happening, babes? You need to do something. And that's how I said, okay, so the next or third day, second or third day, I'm going to churn out my introduction video. And then the following week or the next, so I had planned that the third week in December, I was going to churn out my introduction video. But for some reason, I had some delays. I had some stuff to wrap up at work. So that was interrupting with my timeline. And that was why I dropped the video like a few days before this major video. I already had it. I'm like, okay, so what do I need to talk about? Okay, so let me talk about the lessons I've learned in 2021. Trying out new things, you definitely learn and fail forward. So I'm sure that looking back at that introduction video, even as at this point that I'm doing this particular video, I know that it's not the best thing I've done, but it's something. I put it out there, and that's the thing. I put it out there, trying out new things and making sure you make mistakes. You learn from the mistakes. If you don't try, you would not know. There's no manual to life. There's nobody that has ever gotten it right from A to Z. So why not just try your best? Why not just try those new things? Make your mistakes and move forward from them. Fail forward, make your mistakes. Use those mistakes to learn. Like, the more you try, the better you get at something. It doesn't have to be the same thing. You can try new things. So try new things, make your mistakes and fail forward. And believe me, you will be better off. So let's go on to the number 5th lesson that I learned in 2021. For this one, it's really something that we most of the time neglect, or I would say yes, a lot of people, most people neglect. Most people do not even, acknowledge that this is a thing. In 2021, I realized that celebrating small wins is very, very important. It helps you build your gratitude capacity. Celebrating small wins makes you feel like a winner. It's not that it even makes you feel like a winner. It makes you know that you are capable of winning. Yes, you may have goals that you have set out for the year or for the month or for the week. You may not, that bigger goal, you may not have achieved it. But there are some small goals that in the milestones as you're trying to get to that bigger one, you have achieved them as you go. Do you ever sit back to say that, this thing, I did it. There was this challenge at work and I overcame it. Oh, there was this problem I ran into at the point and I overcame it. See this conflict at work and see how I managed it. There are small wins in our daily lives that we need to acknowledge and celebrate. And believe me, once you celebrate these small wins, it opens doors for you. You begin to have more confidence in yourself. It helps you to see your potential as a person. It helps you to see yourself from someone who's at a point A to at a point B. So it's important. Celebrate your small wins, no matter how little. The fact that you woke up today, and you're alive is a win that you need to celebrate. If you've gone to the gym and you are like, I'm getting bigger and I need to lose weight, and your end goal is 5 kg. Okay, so you are setting a goal to say, I want to lose 5 kg by January. You won't just move from point A to point B. It will happen in milestones. You will take conscious efforts. Maybe cut down on your calories, cut down on your alcohol, exercise. I've learned that one of the most difficult things to show up to is actually working out. There are days that you don't even want to hear workout because your body, your mind, your soul and spirit is not just interested. But those days you still get up and you still go ahead and do that workout. You still exercise. Those are small wins because those are savings. It's like you're putting money, a little, like a couple inside a couple inside a piggy bank. And before you know it, it grows into something bigger. Celebrate it. It is not until you reach that 5 kg landmark that you set for yourself that you now start celebrating. Hey, no, it's the process. Enjoy it, celebrate the process, and learn how to be grateful. Be grateful to yourself, be grateful to God, because it's not a joke. It's an entire journey. The journey starts with the first step. If you didn't take the first step, you wouldn't have gotten to the second step. So please, come on, celebrate your small wins, however small they may be. They are very important. It's very important for you to acknowledge them, acknowledge those small wins, celebrate those small wins. And believe me, that winning capacity, that belief that you can do anything will just be there just because you're celebrating yourself, and you will be able to achieve anything. Yes. So that is a very vital lesson that I learned from 2021. Celebrating myself, celebrating my small win. Now let's go to the number 6 lesson I learned in 2021. So the number 6 lesson I learned in 2021 is forgiving yourself. Learn how to forgive yourself. I don't know if this happens to only me, but I noticed in 2021, I noticed last year that I tend to forgive other people faster than forgiving myself. When people do stuff to hurt me, or when they have, done something that I do not like, I find it very easy to forgive the person. You don't even have to come to me to ask or plead for forgiveness. I just let it go. I'm like, sometimes you don't even know. But I find that it's very hard when I've made a mistake or I have done something wrong. It becomes extremely hard for me to forgive myself. I don't know if this happens to only me, but I learned in 2021 that it takes self-awareness to begin to understand that one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is the gift of self-forgiveness. And I found that it's actually very, very hard for some people that I've spoken to about it. Some of us, we are still punishing ourselves for some past mistakes that we made. But if somebody has done something wrong to us, their sin may be bigger than the ones that we've done to ourselves. Guess what? We forgive those people easily than we forgive ourselves. So it's actually very, very important for you to go on that journey of self-forgiveness. And before you can do that, you need to really, really, really introspect. Look at yourself and look at the life. What are you doing presently, or what is that thing that you've been holding against yourself? Okay, so let me share an example with you. I had flopped at an interview, and for that reason, I always believe that. So whenever I'm going to an interview, I needed to be some type of way because of the way I thought I had flopped. I never forgave myself for that interview, and for that reason, I felt that I did not deserve better opportunities. So please, it's important. I don't know how I'm going to stress it, for you to introspect, and this is like the perfect time. It's the beginning of a new year. Look inward. Try to do all the interrogations you can do as much as possible. Try as much as possible to let things go. Forgive yourself. You've made that mistake already. Forgive yourself and move on from it. Self-forgiveness is too underrated. The same way you are quick to forgive other people, please be quick to forgive yourself too. It's too important. I cannot stress it enough. It's so important for you to forgive yourself. So yes, another lesson that I learned in 2021 is forgiving myself. And it made me realize that I'm deserving of good things. It made me really see myself in another light. And, that made it, it kind of gave me that, self, like a rebirth, so to speak. I became more like a new person because I looked at myself in the mirror and I said to myself, Bukola, I forgive you for the mistakes that you've made. That may not be the exact way it will work for you, but look at yourself. You know yourself. There may be a grudge that you're holding against yourself. There's some mistake you've made in the past, and for that reason you cannot seem to forgive. Please let it go. Let it go, because when other people do, I'm sure people have done worse things to you and you've let it go. So please, why don't you just forgive yourself? It's not easy, I know, but please let it go. So it's important for you to learn how to forgive yourself. It's important for you to learn how to self-dialogue. When something goes wrong or when you've done something wrong, self-dialogue. Talk about it to yourself. Oh, this is where I messed up. Deep dive, like think through, really dig in to understand what you've done wrong and why you've done it that way. So once you get to the root and the bottom of it, it's very easy for you to say, okay, this is where I made the mistake. Okay, so in the future, I'm going to do things differently. In the future, I'm not going to do things. There is no mistake that is irredeemable when it comes to yourself. So please try as much as possible. When you make mistakes, when you do something that you think when you think you've done yourself a disservice, sit down, think about it, deep dive into the situation, know how you've done or what you've done wrong. Try as much as possible to understand what you could have done better. Be critical about it. Be very critical about it, because nobody can be as critical as you. So to yourself. So be very critical about it. Talk to yourself about it. Dissect it. Try to understand what you've done wrong, what you can do to correct it, if it's still correct, if it's still possible to correct it, and if not, when you find yourself in that situation or those situations in the future, learn how to, find a way to, know how to handle such situations. Pardon me. And then from there, talk to yourself. Let yourself know that I have forgiven you for this mistake. So that's the number 6 lesson I learned in 2021. So let's go on to the number 7. Very, very, very important lesson that I learned in 2021. Hey, God. Surround yourself with positivity. One of the things that can actually help you navigate or make it better, whatever bad situation that you're in or whatever situation that you're in, is surrounding yourself with positivity. And I don't mean just positive affirmations. Of course, those are very good positive vibes, but please surround yourself with positivity in the kind of friends that you're surrounding yourself with, and the kind of family members that you're surrounding yourself with, and the kind of colleagues that you're surrounding yourself with. In your environment, surround yourself with positivity in your environment. And in the type of information that you're taking in. These things, the informations you're taking in, the ideologies that you're taking in, these things form a really important part of our lives. Because we learn every day, we evolve every day. We learn by the things that we see, that we interact with, the things we see, the things we interact with, the things we read, the information we take in, pardon me. It could be from TV, it could be from music, it could be from anything. We're just taking in all those information. And they are being stored somewhere in our subconscious. And before you know it, you may begin to act like some of the things that you have taken in. So you need to be conscious of the information you let in. You need to be conscious of the ideologies that you let in. You need to be conscious of the kind of friends that you have around you. Say no to negativity. Do not even let it, don't even smell it. Toxic environment, get away from it as much as possible. I know for some people it's impossible, or it's looking like it's impossible. Continue to dig in and look for ways and manners with which you can take yourself out. Believe me, I took myself out of a really big toxic environment that even I did not know I could take myself off it. Like I pressed brake and got out of that toxic environment. And I can tell you for a fact, I have clarity of purpose, because the toxicity I left behind, I did not, I don't have to be in that environment anymore. The toxicity has left. I left that environment, and I was rewarded with clarity of purpose. I began to see things differently. I began to think differently. Instead of thinking of protecting myself in that toxic environment, if a situation happens, I'm thinking of how to improve as a person. I'm thinking of how to grow as a person. Instead of having to have my name being dragged into drama that has no business, that I have no business with. Instead of thinking of how to defend myself in such situations, I'm thinking of how to better myself. I'm thinking of how to move forward. So there are two different things. If you are in a toxic environment, there are so many situations that you don't have to be pulled into, that you will be dragged into. And the time you spend in such environments, you are losing sight of opportunities or other good things that you're supposed to be focused on, because you're trying to get yourself out of a situation, that may not even have anything to do with you. You may not have done anything. So please and please and please, that's one gift I gave to myself this year that I know that is a very big gift. And I'm still thanking myself. I'm still grateful that I made that move. God, please and please and please, if you can, try as much as possible to get yourself out of any toxic environment, any relationship with a toxic friend, any relationship with a toxic family member. I know that of family member can be very hard, but please, you first. You first. Take care of yourself. Take yourself out of those situations. Stop being friends with that person. That person that is toxic is not your friend. He's an enemy in disguise. Please, from somebody who has just left a toxic environment. See, it's a whole new world out there. A beautiful world out there. A world where the possibilities are indefinite. A world where you look up to the skies and you see the beauty that nature is. Sometimes these things fail you, or you fail to see the beauty of life because you are struggling with problems that don't even concern you. The problem won't concern you. Please, as much as possible, get yourself out of a toxic environment. That's the best thing. And surround yourself with positivity. Surround yourself with friends that would encourage you to do good things. Surround yourself with friends that would try to motivate you to get up when you're down. Surround yourself with friends, family, and environments that will inspire you. And please, as much as you are getting that inspiration from friends, family, and the environment, be that same inspiration to those people. This is a very vital, important lesson. You need to get yourself out of any toxic environment. This is like, I would say, maybe it's the best lesson I learned in 2021, or it's the best gift I gave to myself in 2021. Removing yourself from a toxic environment, from problems that you did not create but you will be dragged into. Drama that is not your business, but you'll be wrapped around you. And it will veil you from seeing the opportunities in front of you. It will not allow you to achieve the dreams you came to life to achieve. Please take yourself off all those relationships, environments, and entanglements. So that's the number 7th lesson I learned in 2021. Number 8th lesson I learned in 2021. Dress the way you want to be addressed. It sounds as though it's cliche. Yeah, it's cliche because it's true. And a lot of times we've heard this phrase being used by our parents. And I think while I was growing up, I hated that phrase a lot, because I'm like, so what if I dress in any way? That does not mean that's me. But the truth of the matter is, the way you dress is the way you'll be addressed. That is the truth. And the dressing I'm talking about is not the piece of clothing you are putting on. It is the expression on your face. It's that smile on your face. It's your disposition as a person. That dressing that I'm talking about is the vibes that you give off as a person. That dressing I'm talking about is, the attitude that you carry to a place. That dressing I'm talking about is the way you carry yourself. And the way you carry yourself, believe me, is the way you will be addressed. The way you approach or manners, or the manners with which you approach people or things, is the way you will be approached. So dressing the way you want to be addressed cannot be overflowed. Being polite does not take anything from you. Politeness has opened doors for me in 2021. Friendliness opened a lot of doors for me in 2021. Just by picking up my phone, calling a stranger, somebody I've not even met, because the entire day, since 2020, we've been working remotely. I've had to liaise and interact with people I've not seen before. I've had to ask favor of people I have not set my eyes on. One of those things that open doors for me is the pleasantness. I pick up my phone and I'm saying, hello, good morning, how are you today? Believe me, I don't know, it just melts. Because if you say those words to me, it just melts my heart. I'm like, oh, this person is interested in my well-being. I don't even know you. It could be, hello, how are you doing today? And then you go on to have your conversation. You're friendly about it and you're pleasant about it. You'll be addressed in an equally respectable manner. It's that simple. It's that simple. And when you go to a place, maybe you have a job interview, or maybe you're meeting somebody like a mentor, or maybe you're meeting somebody you think will change your life, maybe you have a gig or something you want to go and, pitch to somebody, don't go there with your head hanging low. Don't enter the room and start fiddling with your hands. Don't carry the attitude of, I'm not sure about myself there. No. Be confident. Dress up in your full confidence regalia and hold your head up high. Walk into that room with a beautiful smile on your face and know that there are 2 outcomes or 3 outcomes from that interaction. It's either you get the gig or you don't get the gig, or you will get back to you. 3 outcomes. So once you have that at the back of your mind, you'll be able to walk into any room with a very good dress on you. And you know the dress I'm talking about already by now. And you will not be intimidated by anything. And then you shouldn't even go with the ideology of intimidating people. Just go and be yourself. It's that simple. So please, dress the way you want to be addressed. It's worked for me a lot this year. I've had, interactions where people were like, oh, I love the way you carry yourself. I've had interactions where people are like, oh, you're very pleasant on the phone. I've had interactions where somebody has told me that, see, this call is the best call I've had all day. The fact that you ask me how I'm doing has just made my entire day. And I'm happy because I put a smile on that person's face. So yeah, it's important for you to dress well. Dress well with a beautiful smile, with a nice disposition. Be sure of yourself. What's the worst that can happen? You don't get it. Well, there are other opportunities waiting for you now. Maybe that one is very small, that is coming. So yes, just be good, be confident, be yourself. I know there are days that, it's hard. But it's your clothing, it's your dress, part of your dressing. So on the days that it is hard, you will wear it like that. You must wear it. You must wear that smile. You must be pleasant. You must be polite. Because, see, this life is already hard, especially living in Nigeria. It's already hard. You don't need to contribute to other people's misery. And in the same way, don't let people come and add to your problems. So, yes, a very vital lesson that I learned in 2021 is dress the way you want to be addressed. It's as simple as that. Dress the way you want to be addressed. And, when you give off respect, people respect you. It's just simple. Respect is reciprocal. So yes, that's another vital lesson that worked for me in so many ways. In fact, in almost all my interactions in 2021, dress the way you want to be addressed is a major lesson for me. The ninth lesson I learned in 2021 is your work worth is not your self worth. Let me explain. A lot of the times we make the mistake of evaluating ourselves by the success we have at work. And for some reason, that becomes a yardstick for how we've grown in life. And, for a long time, for the longest time, I think before 2021, this was me. I thought that my level of success is determined by the success I achieve at work. No. Big no. Because your career is just one aspect of your life. My career is just one aspect of my life. So I succeed at every other thing, but because I'm not succeeding at work, or because I'm not getting that promotion, or because I'm not growing as much as I want to, or because every day I'm having issues with my supervisor, I believe I've failed in life. No. No. Your career is just one aspect of your life. Because you're failing at school or things are really not going well at school does not mean you have failed everywhere else. It dawned on me in 2021 that, see, yes, you may not be making it, you may not be growing as much as you want to at work, but that does not mean that that is your self-worth. No. That's just an aspect of your life. You have your family, you have your relationship, you have your friends, you have your social circle, you have different aspects of your life. And work is just one of it. Career is just one of it. And I based imagine how I based my success as a person on the success I achieve in my career. No, it's just an aspect of your life. It's just an aspect of your life. So please and please and please, your work worth, what you are worth at work, is not your self-worth. You're worth more than that. Because you're important to people at home, you're important to your family, you're important to your spouse, you're important to your children, you are important to your community. Some of you are very important people outside of work. And for some reason, the only time we think of success, or the only time we want to celebrate, is the success that we are getting at work. Haba. That's just one aspect of your life. And that's what dawned on me in 2021, that wait. So for the past years that I've been working, I've been basing my entire life success on one aspect of my life. What about my family? What about how I am growing every day as a person? So one important lesson I learned in 2021, my work worth is not my self-worth. I'm worth more. I'm worth more than my work worth. That's just an aspect of my life. And believe me, that opened my eyes to a lot of things. You set a fitness goal and you've achieved it. You set a financial goal and you achieved it. And that's not enough, that's not success. Because you are not getting promoted at work, or because you are not getting the type of job you want. Some of us have university degrees and we've created, we didn't get a job, but we are now entrepreneurs. But because we are not wearing suit and tie and shoe with, some of our peers, we think we've not succeeded. Important for you to know that one aspect of your life is work, just one aspect. And it's so unfortunate that, we give too much to that and then we neglect every other aspect of our life. Some of us some people have developed ailments, terminal illnesses, because they didn't take care of their health, physical health, their mental health, and their emotional health. They did not guard their health with jealousy while they were working. And I think it's this spills over into a lot of people's lives. We don't take conscious efforts to ensure that work, we are not allowing it to affect every other aspect of our life. We let that work override into every other thing that we're doing. People have had to, people have been sacked from work and they've, developed hypertension. Some of them start thinking and they get, some of them have cardiac arrest. What happens to you when you don't have that job anymore? That's how you begin to know what your self-worth is as a person. You're not going to have that job forever. So who are you if you don't have your job? A very important question. Some people have neglected their family life because of work. Some people don't even have a social life because of work. That was me until 2021. I did not have a social life. If you ask me, let's go out, I say, I'm busy, hey, I have work. I keep saying that. I did that until I broke that chain in 2021. Some people don't even have a family anymore because they are now estranged from their family because they've given everything to their work. Please, your life is not dependent on the job that you have, and your job does not equate your life. Your career or your job is an aspect of your life, and your worth at work is not your self-worth as a person. So there are other areas and aspects of your life that are even much more important. Your family is more important than your job. Your health is more important than your job. Your social circle is more important than your job. Your friends are more important than your job. Because your job can decide to leave you today, but your health will not if you've paid attention to it. Your family may not leave you. So please and please and please, self-worth is greater than your work worth. So that's another vital lesson from 2021. The last but not the least lesson I learned in 2021 is take care of yourself. Oh my God, this cannot be overflogged. This cannot be overemphasized. Taking care of yourself is an important task, and that's why I've put it at the end of, this, at the end of the lessons that I've learned. I've learned that taking care of yourself is your responsibility alone. In a world where you can outsource almost anything, doing this video right now, I can outsource this video to another person to edit it for me. I can outsource my domestic chores. I can outsource every other thing, but taking care of yourself is not a task that can be outsourced. You can employ a nutritionist, you can employ a gym instructor, you can employ different kind of persons to come and help you take care of your physical health. But if you want to be fit, you have to carry the iron by yourself. If you want to have a hourglass shape, you have to go to the doctor to get it done. But you will still need to take some healthy precautions to ensure that you stay in that shape that you have used money to buy. Taking care of yourself requires understanding when to take a pause, when you need to take a pause. Knowing when you need to rest, when you need to rest. Don't overdo, don't overstress, don't kill yourself with wahala, don't kill yourself with work. Learn to rest, learn to know when to take a pause, learn to know when to take rest. Learn it. So taking care of yourself is divided into 3 parts. The first part is taking care of your physical health. The second part is taking care of your mental health. And the third part is taking care of your emotional health. So I'm going to talk about the physical health first. What is the ideal weight that your height should have as a person? That's where you begin to take care of yourself. What are the things you should be eating and things you shouldn't be eating? Do you have any conditions in your family, any, conditions in your family that eating certain types of food may trigger, or having certain types of habits may trigger? Let's say, for instance, you have people in your family who have history of high blood pressure and high cholesterol, and your favorite pastime meal is you just like to drink excessively, and then you like excessively oily food and junk food. You're not helping yourself. You're not taking care of yourself. You need to exercise. Do you need to keep in shape? Do you need to keep fit? Do you work in a place where you are sitting down all day? Do you need to add extra physical activities into your routine or regimen? Is that what's going to make you a bit healthier? You need to make conscious effort so that you can make healthy decisions. Taking care of yourself is underrated. Too underrated. You hear things like, oh yes, Warren Buffett doesn't sleep more than 2 hours in a day because he's a billionaire, blah, 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 blah. Do you have the type of health that he has? Do you even know what he's battling with? You are not Warren Buffett. You are you. Learn to take a pause. Learn to, press brake on that moving train and relax. If it means, taking time off work, taking time off family, if you're a family person, if you're a mother or you're a father, and you need some time away from the family to relax, that's not being selfish. That's you trying to take care of your needs. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not in full good health, how do you take care of the family? How will you be there for your kids in the long run if you've shortened your lifespan by making bad decisions with your health? Another thing we neglect to do is take care of our mental health. And I've talked about a perspective of it when I was speaking about taking yourself out of toxic environments. Take care of your mental health. Relax. One of my specialties in this life, I know how to relax and be taken care of. I can't. It's like that's my calling. That's my talent. I know how to relax. I know how to take care of myself. When I was still going to the office actively on a daily basis, I can't just sleep. I need to relax my brain, relax my body. And one of the ways I relax is I just listen to soft music, read sometimes. So I gradually, put that brain into like a, rest mode, and gradually I sleep off. Learn to take breaks from work, from family, from friends, from whatever situation that is stressing you, or from whatever situation that you feel you need to take breaks from. Take the break. Nobody will take care of you but you. So you have to make conscious effort. So yes, taking care of your physical health, taking time out to relax when you need to, is too important for me to, it's just too important. It's too important. Ensure that you take care of yourself when you need to. Ensure that you're eating well. You're doing everything you need to do. You're relaxing your brain when you're supposed to. You are not allowing people who are toxic and negative get to you. You block them out. You try to find your own way out of that situation. If you can't get yourself out of such situations, it's just find your way out. It's very, very simple. Take a walk. And I used to say that self-care is not selfish. Self-love is not selfish. So please and please and please and please, it's very important for you to take very good care of yourself, because I did that in 2021. The year that I'm taking care of myself most is 2021. Like, I've just taken good care of myself. I've just let go of that, this controcentric view of whatever. Don't worry about my future. My future will take care of itself. So please and please and please, it's important for you to take care of your mental health, your physical health, and ensure that you're doing that. You are not letting people in your life. You're not, you're not outrightly ostracizing them from your life, but you're taking the rest that you need, the needed rest. You're taking it, you're taking care of yourself, and you're doing everything possible for you to, just be good. And then finally, I'm going to round up with saying that please, 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 please be unapologetically happy. Don't let anybody define your happiness. You define your happiness. You define how happy you are. You define everything about your happiness. So yes, please don't let anybody at all, do not let them define how happy you should be, when you should be happy, or why you should be happy. Be unapologetically happy. Kindly be unapologetically happy. Wow, we've come to the end of the lessons I learned in 2021, and I hope you will also take, one or two things as a takeaway from these lessons that I've learned. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you for watching. Please kindly interact with my video, share with your friends, like, comment, and put on the notification bell. And most importantly, subscribe to my YouTube channel and kindly put on the notification bell so that every time I post a video, you are the first to know. Thank you so much, guys, for listening, and I wish you a very happy new year. Bye.